Yeah? All right. Everyone can hear me. Well, hi, everyone. My name is Phoebe Kim. I'm a senior manager for the multi-cloud solutions architecture team for the Americas at VMware. So this is a quick talk. We basically have about 15 minutes or so to talk about multi-cloud, which the whole conference is about, vision and strategy. I was going to do a whiteboard. My plan failed, so we'll see what's on my slides. So let me see if it goes. All right. So as you guys know, most of the businesses these days generally use multiple clouds. Now, when I say multiple clouds, it's not just your hyperscalers with AWS, Azure, or Google. It's also, we're saying, like private clouds, which VMware vSphere is based on, right? So multiple clouds where 75% of businesses now use, I guess they're focused on 2 or more public clouds, and then of course, more growing as we move forward. Now, this is what I was going to whiteboard, I think. Now, most people started with that mono cloud. Essentially, the on-premises environment with your private cloud, vSphere, vSAN, NSX, you name it, right? Our whole software-defined data center stack. And then they started using cloud-native apps because public cloud came around with all these new services. And for the developers especially, it kind of came around where, hey, I know we have this on-prem, but I'm going to go use this public new services, right? And then now this is where the whole multi-cloud picture came in, where everyone started using all these cloud-native apps, adding big data, analytics, machine learning, all these new technological advancements, including edge. So with that, a lot of businesses are now focusing on agility and resilience of their business. And of course, from an application perspective, just innovation and velocity in development, right? So this is kind of where all the businesses have been going, as you know. But of course, it comes with tons and tons of challenges that we don't really think about when we say, hey, this thing is shiny and new, and I'm going to go use it, right? So once people started using this, first off, now you have multiple infrastructure, right? You used to only have your on-prem, but now you have AWS, you have Microsoft, you have all these other different clouds, all different kinds of infrastructure. The management of those environments are all different as well, right? And on top of that, the developers, they're just developing what they want. They just need something to work, right? Whatever the business needs in order to fulfill their goal. So all these applications are being developed, and they're distributed in nature. They're not in just one place in one cloud anymore. They're using those maybe public cloud services and other things where they just kind of spread across around wherever they need to be in order to make the business requirement met, right? And also COVID is like another thing, but distributed workforce is the world we live in now. We don't mainly go into the offices anymore. I maybe see my teammates once a year, at least in person. So everyone's everywhere, but it's not just your workforce. It's also the people that use your services from your businesses, right? They're not just in your one little city or one state or one country anymore. They're literally everywhere. So with that, just the complexity that comes to building this multi-cloud environment and managing this multi-cloud environment becomes a huge challenge for the customers, our businesses. So that's where VMware Cross-Cloud Service really comes in. So did you guys all go to the general session? Yes? Yes? So from there, essentially the cross-cloud services is what should help you and give you that control and freedom to have that true multi-cloud business, right? Not just in multi-cloud that you have 1, 2, 3 different clouds. Yes, that's multiple clouds, but really that cross-cloud where you can manage, secure your applications and everything across all of these different environments, ideally from one place. So I don't want to go over it again because you guys already watched the general session. There's like the 5 main groups of services that they went through, right, in depth during the general session. So obviously modern apps, cloud infrastructure with VMware Cloud, cloud management with vRealize or now ARIA with SaaS version of it, security and networking as well with, of course, NSX and Carbon Black, and EUC, Anywhere Workspace with Horizon. So let's talk about VMware Cloud. The main, I would say the main benefit of VMware Cloud is that consistency in all these different layers. So if you see at the bottom, these are all the different infrastructure that your businesses have, right? But with VMware Cloud is where having that infrastructure is consistent across wherever you are. And then the second layer there is the operation. So if you're automating your app development, automating infrastructure deployment, any of that really is where you want to have the consistent operation across all of these different environments now you have. And then, of course, everything for the developers lately. So we love our developers. We want to give them a consistent way to be able to develop whatever they need to, wherever they want to or need to, all from that one perspective. So this is kind of the cross-cloud VMware services that essentially give you that consistency across all of these different platforms. I'm going to stop there. Any questions so far with VMware Cloud or anything about cross-cloud services? All right. I guess I'm doing well. All right, so in terms of this, so this is just a picture of all of the different services that we have for VMware Cloud, right? So obviously we have the VMware Cloud on AWS. That was the first main VMware Cloud that came about in 2017. It's been growing very, very quickly and efficiently in the last 5 years or so. We also have the similar offerings in Azure, Google Cloud, Oracle, Alibaba, you name it. Now, how many people are familiar with what is VMware Cloud? Yes? Okay, it seems like half the room. So quickly, we all know what the software-defined data center stack is, right? So we have vSphere for compute. What do we have for network? NSX. And then storage, vSAN. Yep, and then we obviously have like vRealize as well for the management. So that's our entire software-defined data center stack. And essentially, the VMware Cloud is that whole thing wherever you need it to be. So you could have it on-prem, on your hardware, whatever you want it to be. You could also have it on, let's say, AWS. So now, in that sense, you're using their bare metal servers, and then we kind of put that stack for you and also manage it for you. And that's the same, essentially, consistently across all of these different clouds, wherever you want it to be. Did that make sense for everyone? All right. And I have 2 minutes, it seems. So this is that kind of the overall technical architecture of VMware Cloud. And again, I want to really emphasize that consistency, right? That's what helps you manage the complexity of this multi-cloud world. So with this, here you can see the on-premises, right, of the customer data center, where, that's where everybody has their on-prem, the main business, and then any hyperscaler global infrastructure, you name it, wherever you need it to be, right? And then you have your hyperscaler VMware service, which is that VMware Cloud that we just talked about. And then, of course, you're then also closer to all of these hyperscaler like native services for you to use. Now, I don't think I have a picture for this, but another part that I just want to talk about like in my last minute is it's not just your on-prem and then like one hyperscaler and then that one native cloud, and that's it, right? Like VMware cross-cloud services really allows you that freedom to have multiple hyperscalers if you'd like. So for example, are you guys familiar with HCX? Yes? So HCX quickly is a migration tool, right? Mostly migration tool, but essentially it actually is more than that. It provides a connectivity between all of these different clouds, whether it's private cloud or VMware Cloud on AWS, Azure VMware solution, it doesn't exactly matter, right? Any of these hyperscaler global infrastructure, if you are using VMware Cloud, you can actually leverage HCX to provide that kind of network connectivity between. Obviously, you need the physical networking. You could ask me after if you'd like, but it gives you that flexibility. So in this picture, obviously, it only shows you that on-prem and like one hyperscaler, but You could also just mean multiple hyperscalers. It's essentially however you want it to be. So we really give you that freedom to be able to have that and truly have the multi-cloud and cross-cloud services. And you can leverage any of the public native services as you like. So sorry, I don't have a picture for that. I was gonna whiteboard this, so it's a bit of a ad lib over here. But I think that's actually the only time that I have. If you guys have any questions, anything with multi-cloud, really, anything with VMware Cloud, I'd be happy to answer.
Does ARIA, does vCloud Director integrate with ARIA? I know like vSphere and the different public clouds, but what about the vCloud Director product?
So to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure where ARIA fits in that yet, but actually you can